Okay. Good morning, everybody. Um, Looks like we're now streaming. So today, I think we're going to try to make some sort of an industrial hover vehicle, something from maybe the same colony style world that I was working on yesterday, but less for personal transportation and more for maybe moving stuff around or like a tractor. I haven't entirely decided yet, to be honest. Um, but I think that'd be a good place to start. So, as normal, let's create ourselves a human. I really do need to save just a base model out, which I say every time. Dude, click to confirm. Okay, gonna go in, delete the rig, delete his eyes and his teeth. We just have the body, and then move him off to the side, and we got our scale reference. So we're not deleting the basic cube. I may have to give up my Blender license. Let's bring it up. That's a 2 meter by 2 meter cube. Let's make this thing longer. Maybe, I don't know how big we want to make it. Let's go about that big for length. Yeah, okay. Seems good. And width, 1.5, 3 meters. Sure, okay, that seems like a good base for our vehicle. And yeah, let's just make it an even 8 by 3. So it's 8 by 3 by 2 in meters. Now, we are going to kit bash some on this one, I think, but I want to try to build the basic model maybe myself a little bit. So let's just do that. SX, and I want to scale that in. Okay. And then I think I'm going to divide it up into at least three, let's go 5 sections. So back is going to be back stuff, engine stuff. I think this will be my cockpit area. Maybe one more. Let's do 6 sections. There we go. Because I want to be a little bit, I don't want to be even. So 1 in the back, 2 in the front, 4 in the middle, or let's see, 3. I'm just trying to see. No, I like this short back. So 1, 2, 4. And this is going to be like our cockpit area. Let's inset it. And then GZ 1.5. Why did my inset? Oh, E 1.5. There we go. Okay, and then let's scale on the x-axis again to bring it in. Something like that. Okay. And how are we feeling from the side? I really should do the... I'm going to move my dude to the other side because that's our default for side views. I can see them together. Okay. And I'm just kind of pushing and pulling parts at this stage. I don't have a lot in mind. I hope to, but I don't just yet. I want to actually bring this one forward. I kind of like that like forward glass to a tractor window look. But maybe I don't want to do it that way because I want to keep this frame there. Yeah, okay. Let's extrude it forward a little bit. And I'm going to turn on snap. I don't use snapping very often, and I probably should. Snap to edge. Okay, there we go. I really should use snapping more, and I just have never gotten into it, but it's a really valuable tool. And the reason I did that is I wanted to keep this square section here and not move this line, because now I can inset and it'll stay straight. Because I'm jumping right into it. Let's see, if I take those, inset, and then Alt-E, extrude faces on normals in just a bit. There we go. I got windows. You can barely see them, but I got windows. Let's assign materials so we can start to see what we're doing. Since we're not starting with a kit bash base, we don't have that nice texture to start with, but I have textures. Materials are us. Blender shaders, created, and I'm going to go with my dirty orange, which is probably not going to be right just yet, but let's see. I mean, it's a texture. It's not a perfect texture, but it's a texture. I don't want to waste too much time on it right now. Actually, I think that might be too busy a texture for right now. So maybe just instead of that, just literally just do a new base color, orange. So now we got something, and it's going to be body. I just want to be able to tell parts apart from each other. So now let's select those, assign, new, we'll call windows, and we'll make it the universal kind of light blue that people seem to make for windows when they're coloring stuff. All right. Now, obviously this is still very just blocky and shitty looking. We haven't done anything interesting yet. Let's see. I'm gonna take, first off, before that, I'm gonna start with making this thing symmetrical. So we might as well just apply a mirror modifier to it, and that will aid in that. I don't want to be individual yet. And then I want to GX, give it a little bit of a thing. That's a thing, right? Yeah. And now we'll do individual, and then individual again, and give it another thing. So we get this nice double panel extrusion, and it feels very, very fine indeed. Okay. Now, I actually feel like this is too long here right now. I kind of want to be here and then this to come down like that. So it's like that more. So let's add ourselves an edge loop. And minus 0.5. I don't hate that. Okay. We're going to add a lot of, as I said, a lot of kit bashing, a lot of stuff later. But can we bevel that in? Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I think probably this is going to be our door. And then this is going to be like engine stuff. Are we liking this so far? I think we are. Okay. Apparently I have been told I say K too much, but whatever. I could say a lot too, and that's just how it's going to be. Right. Got that. This also feels a bit big to me right now. I think tractor parts are often a little bit narrower. Let's take that. and then fine, 3. Okay, and then scale on the X. Also gives us that neat change, which I kind of like. Bring it forward a bit too. Okay. All right. It's not really feeling terribly good yet. I'm not feeling it, but we'll see if we can get something to it soon. And it might be time to start kit bashing a little bit into it fairly soon. All right. I think since we've got this here, we can also bring that down. It's not bad, but I think if I do that, I do want to bring the other parts back. Just pushing and pulling shapes till I find something I think is cool. And I haven't got there yet. I feel like this is too angled and it feels like a cockpit, and I don't want it to be that. But I do want to have some angle, but that's better. Now it feels sort of industrial, but I don't want to be, again, it's not a cockpit. It's just maybe where the engine is. And I want to take this and extrude it up and extrude it forward. I like that. And then since we have mirror on, which I'd kind of forgotten, out. No, I don't like that. In's fine. Flush is good with that. Okay. All right. And then this edge, what can we do with it? Can I bevel it into? Yeah, that might be a bit much. 0.1, not enough. 0.2, Goldilocks. Okay. There's my K again, right? Now, I'm actually not liking all of these like this together. It feels a little too even. So which ones do we want to get rid of? The middle two? X, dissolve faces. X, dissolve faces. Now it's gonna screw with my good edge loops there. I've messed them up, but do you want to bring them back? Sure. One, trying to keep my edge loops not hating me terribly so that we can use it for other stuff later. All right, there we go. Yes, no, maybe. It's always interesting when you start these things without any real concept in mind, because it's just going to be, something. And sometimes that takes a little bit to find the forms you want. That's got potential. I don't want it to be pretty either. But actually, I don't like this one either. Dissolve edge loops. Dissolve faces. Okay. And we got those back two are bumpy, and then the front ones are not. And that's cool. While you want to maintain good edge loops, you can do stuff like that easier. 3 EGX. Okay. Let's save our sucker. I think we can rescue this. It's not awful yet. Although I'm due for an awful one, you know. Gosh, it's the 19th already. Stream industrial. It's not a speeder, hover vehicle. 2305 19. Okay. We need to start giving some interest, if nothing else. Why do we want to do that? Well, let's see if we find any cool parts. I might just bust out with some of those Starship parts from Big, Medium, Small to start with. A, I love them. And B, I think they might give us something interesting. Or we could go with the Vitali Ultraborg stuff, which I've brought in and made to some kits. Big, Medium, Small. Kit objects. Trim sheet. Canisters. Tanks. Tanks are kind of neat. Yeah, I like tanks. Let's do that to start with. Let's see what we get if we just throw some interesting. Oh, get out of mode. Tank. Alt G. 7. Scale. GY. 3. GZ. And scale it. Maybe just scale on the X. I'm going to keep it that size. Start getting into there. Yeah, we could go with that. I think that would work. And then maybe I like, thinking I like this one. Let's see if I do. I think I do. Let's go to our local, since we're at an angle, and I want to stay at that angle. And RZ90 scales on, no, not the Z, scale on the X, scale on the Y. Here's something to scale in general. GX, scale. I want to fit it on that panel pretty close. And then I like that. I think that's cool. Grab our centerpiece, use it to mirror around. Now let's Alt D, GY, line it up on that side too. So we got those things. Yeah, okay. Just a little bit of detail helps a lot. So we got things hanging off the sides. I'm liking it. I'm hating that color. That's just so orange I can't even see. Saturation, brightness. I want to have a color, but that was just hurting my eyes. Structural elements. Do we want to play with any of these yet? I like structural elements. They're cool. I like structural elements. No, but having these kind of girders and beams hanging off of something just makes it feel more industrial to me. Pretty fast. Let's go back to global. See, like that. I feel like that helps. Even just sell something there too. Might scale this a little bit in. Not that much. Okay, so it still doesn't actually fit. There we go. A little more. Okay, now it actually fits inside that space. Cool. Again, duplicate it. Okay, yeah, now, okay, see, it's starting to feel like an industrial vehicle of some sort. Just a little bit of that paneling even helps. We humans are simple creatures. Venting, these are all round. I kind of want some square venting more than I want round ones. Radiators, I mean, it needs a radiator on the front, right? It's not a, it's not a tractor without a radiator on the front. That's just the truth. And like that one. Scale, GY. 3. Let's just move it kind of where we want it. Scale it in. It's extending out a bit. We'll bring it in. Once we change that texture, I don't think it'll look nearly as jarring. But I do think we wanted that radiator there. Right. And jumping around, let's save. But I remember when I was playing yesterday, I saw that Ian Hubert's kit from the farm museum that he was working at, or the farm tractor graveyard. Mine was a farm museum, I guess. Construction assets, he called it. Had some bumpers. So let's go grab a bumper. Do we want the one with the winch? The lights? Let's see the one with the winch. See what it looks like. This is, I think, the one I used yesterday for my thing, but I'm going to try to use it differently and it won't look the same anymore, right? This one we want to scale up, not down. So obviously, it's going to need some underparts, but I kind of like that so far. Maybe just go down a little bit more. Make it so those things, yeah, that's cool. Those are definitely not at the same height. Do we care? We'd lose the chain if I like mirrored it. Maybe we don't care. It is kind of annoying though. I think that'll be okay. And we're gonna bling it anyway. Let's take those 2 pieces. No, bring them forward. No, we'll just leave it like it is for right now. We won't go nuts. Bring this just so it feels like it fits in a little bit. That's all right. Okay, save. Our first truly grungy, ugly piece, and it's going to make everything, again, the more grungy pieces we add, the more this block gray thing just looks like ass, and that's just to be expected. We're okay. We're going to change it. All right. See, I'll start saying all right instead of K. The harvester is the harvester section. We got, and that's just grody looking. You absolutely want just silly grody details. That's, yeah. Let's see. Maybe we do. I think if we do, we want it like here. I mean, maybe we do. I try changing that color so that it matches to the yellow. We could. Just, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Is it centered? I don't think it is. Which is to be expected because it's got this thing hanging off of it, so it wouldn't be centered. We want to line it up so it feels like the important bits are centered. Alrighty. Good. These are just some great parts. Like, I mean, it's just cool. We need to fix the back. It needs some interesting stuff there. Obviously, we need a lot more interesting crap here. But tractors have a fair amount of open space on them as well. They're not all micro detail everywhere. So we want to be aware of that as we deal with this. It's not just that. I've got one of these that I scanned too, but let's see what Ian's looks like. Where did it go? It's going back to the origin. I mean, you know, how can you not like it? It's like the most ridiculous. Why do we have these, 1930s, 50s exhaust ports on a, space vehicle? Because it's cool. Because we watched Star Wars as children, and that's just how things were. AirPod. Oh, that's just also cool. 3 RX is going to rotate it into something like that, and then bring it into something like that. And then bring that so it lines up better. You can get hung up on making these things perfect, and it actually probably makes it worse in the long run. You want to have it's just like drawing. In fact, that's one of the dangers of 3D is that because you can be perfect, you feel like you have to be perfect. And it's usually better when you are not. It's usually better when shit is just a bit out there because you don't notice things that you would notice if it was right. We're just gonna do the classic kit bash thing and cover up joints that don't work with more bits that stick out. Okay. Let's see what happens if we mirror that. I know the part on top of it doesn't mirror, but I do kind of like the linkages doing that together. All Chalmers round baller. Right. Probably want to cover that up if we're going to care about that side. No, I don't like that piece. Not there. But we'll deal with it later. All right. Save again. So we are blinging out the back, give it stuff where it kind of needs to be. Now the linkage wad, we used linkage wad 2. Yes. So we got linkage wad. What is this one? Oh, that is so beautifully ugly. Like, I mean, just look at that. That's so beautifully ugly. And can we? Oh, yes. Yes, we can. I love industrial stuff. my father used to call it grunge, industrial grunge. And he he also used to be a photographer, and he used to love going to like old train yards or any place that had just lots of this sort of this sort of stuff, and then taking photos of it. It was a lot of fun. I saw some cool things growing up. Although, when you're 12, you're like, Dad, this is boring. Why are we here? And now I'm like, oh my God, it was so cool. I wish I'd paid more attention, Dad. You know, I think that's often the story of our lives. Let's see. I'm just gonna line this up where I want it to be, if I want it to be there. Do I want it sticking out more? I mean, I don't hate it. There's nothing wrong with it sticking out more. It does give us something. Maybe not right now, though. Let's leave it off. Again, I want to concentrate on leaving some parts of this looking a little bit more empty and open. Like, I think this needs to feel fairly open. This area here probably needs to feel fairly open. This area here, I don't know yet, but possibly. I think maybe this area here. Did I? Yeah, I'm going to take that, 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 that. I'm just going to try some random flowing and see what we get. So let's go back to grayscale so we can see what we're seeing. And yeah, random flowing is a verb of Q. Panels or plate insets or random loop. Let's start with random loop. Oh, first off, I'm gonna close my asset browser so I can see more. Anyone wants to buy me a bigger Cintiq so I can see, that'd be cool too. 1, 2, 3. I think I like the 3 levels of detail. It's like the secret sauce, you know? So again, 3 levels of height, subdivisions, 2, 2. See, that could be too big, but it might not be. I mean, that's chunky. It might be too deep, although it might not be. Let's cut without changing our seeds. So we'll try to keep things the same. Let's cut this in half. So instead of 0.1, it's point. Oh no, I see the problem. I was wrong. That should be 0.1. This should be 0.05. And this should be 0.025, maybe. Yeah, that was more what I was thinking of. I mean, I do not hate that. I think that gives us a nice indication of detail without being over the top. And I like the way it's integrating with this thing here. Okay, so there's a K again. 34 minutes. I want to keep track so I can make sure you guys get something by the end, and it's easy enough to lose that. This is metal sheeting classic sci-fi standard. I'm gonna try, because this texture's starting to mess with me a little bit, but I want to keep it. When I'm doing stuff for myself, I often, as you can probably tell, jump around a little bit and I go all the place. So I'll texture for a little while and then I will model for a little while and then I'll texture some more. And then I'll realize that my texture was wrong and I'll model, whatever. But okay, we got to get rid of the lights. I need to save a version of this grunge metal that does not have lights. So another thing I tell people sometimes is if you're not in the mood to make something, but you feel like you need to work, organize shit. Come in there and just do things like fix textures. I should do more of that lately. I've just been I've been motivated to make stuff lately, so that's been my focus. All right. Yeah. There we go. That's hitting what I was looking for. So now the dirts are, I mean, they're not the same because this guy, he uses a different dirt system, which I kind of like, but I might even apply it on top of this one. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? So how would we want to go about doing that? Um, so if you look, he's got this add dirt standard and edgeware standard that he applies on top of things. And it goes to metalness and it goes to roughness as well. But for me, let's see if I put it in. Don't shrink. We'll just add it as one more of these things that we've got at the top. So pull this stuff out because that's kind of his final bit. So this goes to here now. And then this would go back down to here now. Now it's really dirty because we've got dirt on top of dirt. But what if we bring this dirt down just a bit, this one down just a bit. Actually, not this one. This one needs to stay up. Yeah, no. And this one down just a bit. And there we go. All right. So now we've got the two dirts combining two methods. And I think maybe we'll brighten up our texture now. And we'll just do a little bit of playing with that. See if we select from here. No, it's too dark. I think that's what we did the first time, isn't it? And it's too saturated right now. And a little darker. See what I mean? Back and forth. But okay, cool. That's enough back and forth. Now these three is our cube. I'm going to join them together into one. And we're going to make it grunge metal. And see how just a little bit of texturing just really punches it up. Like now everything's feeling way cooler and way more like it kind of should be, I think. Right. We haven't worked out any means of how the sucker flies yet. The two classic options are some form of jet engine exhaust thing, which is sort of more the Star Wars way, or the weird hover discs, which we'll call like the Simon Stålenhag way, that look, that you don't see the ground effects and that kind of thing. But I'm kind of thinking I might want to try some ground effects. Big, medium, small. Okay. Kit objects. Trim sheet. Exhaust fizz. So what could we put maybe on the bottom of this sucker? Would that be where we'd want it? It just kind of feels like. So I guess we could do it at the bottom, or we could combine the two and have some sort of sticking out the side. That could be neat. That could be cool. Like if we did, probably have to stick out though, wouldn't it? But how do we want to do that? Maybe, let's see. Trying things time. Never be afraid to. So we want this to be our engine part. Let's GZ, bring it down more. Yeah, don't hate. and scale it in more. Still don't hate. That's a good sign. And now, if we put out of edit mode, an exhaust thing here. Ooh, sexy. I'm kind of digging it. Local again so we can move it around accurately. I am kind of digging it. And then scale it up a bit and move it over. How many do we want? I think we want 3 on a side. Array. Three on a side doesn't suck. Could do 4 on a side, but I feel like that might be a bit big. Thing kind of centered a bit better. Cool. And then grab that and mirror it. And booyah. Now it looks like some kind of weird little caterpillar, kind of insect bug thing. And that's not an awful thing. That's definitely a sci-fi convention. You know, it feels stockier. We've got a little bug head here, even though it's not what the cockpit is. It does kind of give us that human, that it's not only human, but that Earth sense. We understand this because we've seen things like this before. Like, oh, it's a little, roly-poly beetle bug. Okay. We're definitely going to need a little bit more kit bashing, but not in here, I think. I think I like this pretty much as it is. What happens if I move this up so it doesn't intersect? Let's go global. Is it still good? Yeah, that's still good. Obviously, as you develop your model, things that you thought you liked the place before, sometimes they don't work anymore. But that's working. And this is going to be where our ladder will be. So our dude's going to climb up here into that. All right. Maybe. Let's build us a door now. I. Come on. And now if I select for the edges, Control Shift B, let's bevel them. Go for the round. I like it. 3. And now we inset, select outer, and then E in just a bit. We've got a door. And then I like having a little bit of roundness on it, maybe. I think that's the first real roundness we've introduced, but we have some here too. So make sure our forms do work. But I think they do. And go back in again. And Alt S, no, IS. Yeah, I think that works. 2, GG, move it up to like there. 3, and E in slightly. No, in slightly, not that slightly. Minus 0.025, 1 inch, maybe even less. Minus 0.01, just 1 centimeter in, and make it a window. Cool. Save again. No, I have no idea what this vehicle does, nor do I think will we ever, except it looks industrial. And that's what it's supposed to do. Let's just see if we take this out. How does that change our... I like that now. Now that we've added a bit more bulk to it on the sides, I like giving it a little bit more room in the back there. A little junk in the trunk. Let's cut this down, but I think just 2, maybe even 1. Let's just do 1 segment. Nice 45-degree angle. No, I like 2 actually. 2. Got this back thing. Yeah, balances it out a little bit more. Feels like because we got the engines here in the middle and this sticks out the front, we need something in the back to keep it from being front heavy. And I think that works. And I kind of want another structural thing like this in there somewhere. Let's see if we've got one here that I like. Actually, I like this thing. GY RX90. Oh, no. Well, maybe. X. Is it angled? 9. Or it's not angled, and that's the problem. Well, let's just rotate that sucker in. Put her there. Put her there, partner. And forward to there. Nine. We need to rotate it a little bit more. Try and get it a little bit more accurate. I think that's good. I wanted that color. Metal sheeting, classic sci-fi standard. Let's see if I can just do that. Sheeting. This is actually exactly where I wanted it. That's kind of cool. What is it? Huh? Yep. Cool. That'll work. We're going for that yellow and gray look, and we might throw a pop of like red in there potentially too. But I think that's cool. That's what we wanted. Now, let's see. Is there an actual hole there? Oh, there is an actual hole there. Oh, that's going to be helpful. Because I'm thinking, let's do some cableage. Create a cable. This is Cable Raider, and I love it. There. And there. Scale. Okay. Now let's do another one. D. Create another. Didn't get that the last time because I screwed up and moved the first one. But and then create another. And that one's not working, but that's cool. It's always one. So we got edit and bring it forward. And I don't think we really need to worry about where these things are connecting to, because I think it's just going to be dark enough. That we won't see in there. But that's cool. Now let's join those together since they all should be the same size. Cool. And mirror them. Cables are your friend. Now we're going to, how do we want to do it? Material. We gotta give material. Shading. I think I'm gonna do it by hand. New cables. Dirty cables. Yeah, daddy cables. And we're going to grab. We don't really need. Well, edgeware. We could get the edgeware, I suppose. It's not steel, but it might look right, even if it's not right. Bring those over and connect our to our and color RGB. Just gonna make a straight, like dark grayish color to go in there. Oh, sexy. I think that's what we wanted. And we're gonna turn the roughness down actually, so they're a little shinier. And then let's take this down to our normal, and then you can't actually put just a regular color into a normal. If you make a bump node, put the bump node in, and instead of it being a normal, it goes to height. There we go. Now that makes it into normal and gives us some raised textures on it. And save again. Okay, so where are we at? 53 minutes. Ooh yeah, smell that quality. Now, let's see. Just gonna think about actual tractors for a minute. You can't see my reference on the other monitor, but I'm pulling up a Google shot of a tractor, which I haven't actually looked at in a while. Reference is important, folks. What's the bottom look like? Like, can you see engine bits and stuff? Not really, but maybe in a sci-fi one you would. I'm thinking, what do we put in here and down here? We wouldn't want engine down here because this thing's got to potentially land. Although, let's see, our engines are actually lower than our, so it'd have to be like some kind of landing struts or legs pop out of there. But we want something, I think, in here, and I think we want something in here, but we don't want it to terribly interfere with our silhouette. Just add to it a bit. What are we thinking? I think we're thinking panel clusters or panels. One of the two. Panels or panel clusters? I like this panel, I think. Let's see. GY RZ, no, RX180 79. Scale it down. GY, GX, no, SX. 3 GZ. I like that. Like it's subtle, but I like it. But it needs to match that color more than what it is, which we can do. UV editing. A, G. It was this darker one here. Let's, no, not scale it up even, just so it's, I don't think we'll really see it too much, but so it kind of matches the scale of the other one. Yes. There you go. Just gives us a little something when you look at it from the side, like it sticks down. And if you're underneath it or behind it slightly, we would see something, but it's not enough to really alter our feelings about this vehicle. So the same thing here, but I think I'm going to inset it. I don't want select outer anymore. E to bring it in. And we got Greeble clusters. Anything cool? Anything roughly square? Or we could make roughly square? Maybe this one. I think I've used it before, but I like it. Cannot be in edit mode. Geez, Seth, come on. Scale. 19. And let's go to local. And RZ90. Did I alt G it? Let's see. GYY. GYY to bring it in global, even though I had it set to local. Scale. GX. SX. How do we feel if we do that? It does alter the look of that one panel, but I don't know that I care if it's round or not. Talk about this thing here. Now it's going to be more oval than round, but like that's okay. No reason it has to be round, right? GZ. Okay. Liking that. Might be a bit too big. SX. No. SY. We're in this mode. GX. SX. Just to get those little things sticking at the bottom. Gone. Cool. Now, there's no real reason why this panel would be out like this with that there, but I think it's okay. Save. Now, I want to add, I think, some cut lines. Well, some panels. Yeah, panels here would be what we're looking for. There's our piece. Maybe let's even add that. I'm going to close the asset browser again. Okay, yeah, we got it selected. Tab, Q, random panels. I want to add just some cut shapes to it. Ooh. What the heck is that? I'll just make it bigger. F9. Notches. Do we get notches? It's not really giving us notches. Panel size, cut 2. That's cool. All right, all right. Oh, because that's an N-gon. That's why it's not paneling. That would be why. But that's still cool. It needs quads. Otherwise, it ignores it. But I like that it adds those, and we get those that nice edge wear on the things now. And let's see, tab. Come on, not there. Tab. Select this one, and Q. Panel screws. Type custom. I think this is the one. No. Mesh. No. Collection. What did he create? I know he created some, and I want those, but he changed the way it worked in this thing. Up here, presets. Round head one. Screw it. We're just gonna use mine. No. Where'd they go? I don't know. Panel screws. And basic. Basic, I just round. Mesh. All those existing meshes. If I want to do that, custom. There we go. Custom. Phillips. And we're just making screws. You want to make them a bit bigger? Let's make them a bit bigger. .025. So there. Well, that's a huge screw. 0.02 and 0.015. And margin, just a bit more of a margin. Okay. And we could add screws to everything, right? But I don't know. There's something about it here that I just like on those big panels that it would have a screw. The smaller ones don't need it as much, but the big one I like it having there. Okay, that's gross. What is that? What's happening here? Is there some kind of weird... Why does it think that there's a line there when there is not? I don't know, but it is gross and ugly looking. So, two. Let's just, okay. Fix your N-gons. There you go. That's better. That was my mistake. When I pulled that out again, I probably introduced some shit. All right. You can add screws to this one too. Panel screws. Phillips. Sure. Like that. Here too, maybe? They get addictive. Like, oh, screws. Because that just makes everything better, right? That last one, don't want to use angle threshold. Whoo! Now we got a lot. Use angle threshold. Let's see if we can adjust it to like, I want to add a few more screws, but not quite that many. Which way does it go? 45. No. Up adds more. I don't know. It doesn't want to give me more. Fine. I don't really need them anyway. It's kind of overkill. Fine. I don't need you anyway. Cool. But we still do need some stuff down here. We have those screws here. Yeah, we got the screws there. Bevel this slightly. And I want to add, I think, yes, dot control R. Will it let me loop cut? Oh, it will let me loop cut. Good. Cool. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Q. Circle. Down. 3. E. Yes. Assign a new material. It's going to be the metal sheeting classic sci-fi standard 1979. Sorry. U cylinder projection shouldn't make any difference. Let's see. I mean, at this point, it's just garbage. A scale R90. I'll just bring it back to this panel again so that things have a consistency of look to them. Yep, cool. I think that helps. And else do we want to add? I feel like I'm reasonably happy with the back part now. Save. I'm not entirely happy with the front yet. And I'm not sure what to do about it, and that makes me sad. But I do, and the top here needs a bit more too. What do we do on the front? Let's go look at our reference again. My ref doesn't have anything on the front at all. It's like, you don't need stuff on the front. That's stupid. It's crazy talk. Absolute crazy talk. I'm like, well, screw you, man. You're not my dad. All right. SY0 GY 3. Do I like it? Do I want to do that? 3. I mean, I do not hate it. Bevel it again with our 2 bevel. And then cool. Now we could just make that a grill, or we could make those lights. Let's try making them lights. Sign. I think we're gonna go with a warm lighting. And strength is like 25, so it gives a little bit of blowout. Yeah, that's cool, I think. Let's do the same thing down here. But I'm gonna make them round again. Does this one also need a fix? Let's see. I think it might. Yes, I think it does. It's solo. Yes. Okay. Yes, it definitely did. Okay. Face, poke faces. What did I just do? I don't need triangulate faces. It's already face, poke faces. 1. Q, circle. 3, E, SY0, GY. that in, point it forward, even though our ring doesn't go forward. That's kind of cool. Plus assign, and we're going to go with a red and add material. We'll make it like 20 as well. Okay. Bring back our other parts. Cool. Q. Now, let's see. Maybe we build in our ladder now. A little bit of ladder action here. I think, oh, we got panels already there for us. Let's see. I. Now, individual origins. S, Z. Oh, I had more selected, didn't I? I did. But that's cool. All right. That's super cool. I, S, Z. Look at that. That, my friends, is quality right there. Let's see. Now we could even go SZ0, and they're up, right? I don't. Is it gonna work? Why does it look? Why does that bottom one look weird? Oh, because it's not square. That's why it looks weird. 3. Okay. So this piece. KZ. That's not right, is it? No. Shift hide. 3. Global. KZ. And KY. There we go. Now we should have I, SZ. Dude, cool. Does it look right? It's basically close enough, I think, to right. But we need a railing of some kind here. Let's go back to that piece. And tab 2. And a normal. So let's see, will this work? It doesn't look like it likes normal. Yeah, it does. E, G, Z. No. All right, fine. Global, GY. Cool. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I grab them all? Not those other ones. You want this, 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 this. Oh, shift, not control. Control bevel. No. Control shift bevel. No. Okay. First things first. 3. P, selection. Piss off. Now it's its own object. Yes. Tab. A. Control bevel. No. Control shift bevel. not the bottom one. Apologize, we'll get there. 2. Yes. Control Shift bevel. Not any of those. 1. There we go. That's what I'm doing. Control Shift bevel. I actually don't do this a lot, but I think it's cool. Maybe I won't do not even those, just these 2. Just making obviously, I'm trying to make the railing that it's going to have rounded. I'm trying to decide what needs to be rounded. Roll it to all these, Q, curve extract. Doesn't like having them all. Control Q, curve extract. Again, I'm sorry. Should be faster than this. Cool. Tab. Q, curve extract. Okay. X, delete that. This and this. Control J, which makes them all the same size. And I think we have stairs on both sides and a door on both sides. Yes, so we'll go ahead and put our thing on both sides. Railing on both sides. Okay. There we go. Now, what color should our railing be? Metal or yellow? I'm thinking metal. Convert to mesh. U, cube projection. And metal sheeting. UV. A. They don't really need to be perfectly lined up either. I mean, they're railings and they're small. In some ways, maybe it's better if they're not perfectly lined up because the metal is going to seem less perfect, but you're never going to see both sides at the same time anyway, so it's probably all right. Yeah, looks good to me. Cool. That's all right. That's all right. Yay, that's all right. Now, I want to do a bit in here. I feel like this isn't, we're not there yet as I see it. I'm going to add cavity so I can see where I'm at. Okay. Tab, Alt hide. I want to grab this level coplanar. No, because I don't want that level. I want this one, 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 and this one. Which are close enough to the same level for folk. Tab, Q, random tubes. 9 cuts 1, 2. Curve depth is smaller. Maximum offset is going to be 0.05. I don't want them sticking out. And I want like 25. And cuts maybe even 50. Let's see. Seed. There we go. Okay. And I think I am going to change them to that other texture too. Convert to mesh. Tab A, U, cube projection. To the middle. And then UV editing. And they're all going to be scale. Scale. Okay. I do like it, but I think it needs more. I think we're going to use a bit of kit bashing too, but I do like it. Um, big, medium, small. Model shop, kit objects, trim sheet. We got complex panels. Oh, complex panels got some cool stuff. Let's try this. R local. RZ90. Or is it the other way? No, that's right. Scale. Scale. GY. Q. Array. X. SY. Yeah. SY. GY. How do we feel about that? Yeah, that helps more. And now we need a door handle. Let's see, dot. Grid modeler. Grid model could work for this one. Five. Yes. 3. It's kind of bullshit. Can we do something else to it? W subdiv. Will let me subdiv? No, it won't. Grid modeler. And I want to, where's my, I forget how you, control mouse wheel. No, alt mouse wheel. No, control mouse. Control mouse wheel. There we go. There, 5, 3. Grid modeler is awesome. There's a handle. Save. I mean, that glass texture is utter crap. I should probably spend the last 5 minutes fixing that. What do we want to do? I don't really want to be able to see on the inside is the problem. But I also want it to stay dirty. So if I see on the inside, then I have to model something in there, and I'd really rather not right now. I am lazy, but window. Let's go to roughness of 0. Give it a sheen and a clear coat. I mean, not even a clear coat. And I'm gonna change my color to darker. I mean, like that's working. Just make it a little dirty, and then it would be fine. Okay. Do we use the existing ones or nah? We save. We go into shading. We RGB. Select that color because I do dig it. And we principal shader F 2 layers. Yes. The first layer is going to be that, and our roughness is going to be yeah. Let's even use just that would be cool. Let's use dented or scratches. It's normal. And that's cool. Well, not quite that much coverage though. And our mask, I believe the mask is the same. Yeah, okay. So the scratches doesn't give us an option for normals. But if we just take our, roughness. But if we take our mask and drop it into here, now search math and actually not even math. Search map range node and apply it to there. So now 0 to max 0.4. So now when it's black, it's 0, which is cool. Having 100% 0. Let's go to like 0.01. I don't know why. And yeah, I could go way more detail into this, obviously, but let's, for the purposes of this, call it. And this is going to be our dirt node. Color is going to be that. Roughness is going to be 0.85. And normal is going to be grunge 2. My grunge 2 node go? There it went. And that's going to be good. Cool. And then our mix layer is going to be, we want it near the cracks, right? So I believe edge. Does it have, it just doesn't have edges, does it? Let's see. It does. One. Okay. And then edge with a grunge 3. Result into texture. Scale it up a bunch. And there we go. Now we got some dirt on the edge. And we're like right at 190 minutes. I didn't quite get everything done that I wanted to. I wanted to add a bit more up here. And, well, maybe we'll just keep going for a few minutes, guys. There's no reason it has to be 90 minutes. I'm going to just keep doing this. And if anyone's here, great. If anyone's not, well, then I'm just talking to myself. But I wanted to put a bit more on the top here. I just feel like it needs something else. I do like those windows, though. That's quality right there. Yeah. Whispering to myself, quality. It's like ASMR videos now. Big name small again. Kit objects. Trim sheet. Complex panels. I do kind of like the idea of a cool panel on top. I'm not even sure what it would be necessarily, but I like the idea of it. Scale that sucker down. Yeah, and then we can put something in that hole. I didn't center it. I don't like it kind of sticking off the edge like that. It seems all right to me. And so we got radars we could use. I mean, it's not really radar, but you know, I mean, that's a classic. That's also a classic. Alt G, scale. Higher or lower? 3. I think lower. I think we're going to like that. And do we want something in here as well, under in front of that? Yes, we do. We want that sucker. Shrink it down. Bring it down. Just like that. And then maybe we'll bring this up just a little bit. That's what we want. Cool. Now, we could add a bunch more pipes and cables and all kinds of interesting greebly bits to this. Do we want to? I mean, I do like pneumatic cables. I really do. And that's feeling, well, I mean, it should feel kind of empty at the back, though. Like, that's what these things look like. I'm going to just add some panels, I think, here at the back real quick. is actually almost a panel in and of itself, isn't it? Panels. That's way too much. That's probably not enough. At least one cut, or I can't do anything. And panel size. I need to do more with these. Those are actually, oh, yes. Very cool. Okay, I think that'll actually give me what I wanted. I never messed with panel size that much, and I should, clearly, because, yeah, that gives it just that little bit of something there in the back. Maybe we do the same here. Well, no, that's got a panel. We gave that screws already. We're saying that's just a full-on thing, but should it be? I one more time. Just a titch. And outer. What? Oh, Control plus minus E. Yeah, okay. Now, take which piece? All these pieces? Can I add a bevel mod to that? Something real simple, not big at all. I'm not seeing a lot of that thing anymore, but yeah, just a touch of beveling. Save. Close area. All right. I mean, I think this would work as a hover construction vehicle sort. It's definitely not as kit bash as I was initially thinking. These parts are there for that, but like you see these parts even on like train repair cars and stuff now. Like it's mostly big, and then there's this like massive just gick. So I think that's okay. I like that. I like having a little bit of areas of rest every once in a while. I'm okay with my lights. They're simple, but I think it will work. All right, cool. Well, I think I'm gonna maybe put this guy in a scene real quick off camera and then post the final up on Instagram and Mastodon for your viewing enjoyment. Quick reminder that Monday is Victoria Day here in Canada, so I will probably not be streaming unless I just happen to be around and don't have anything going on. I'm not sure what our plans are yet, but I'm not committing to it. Thanks again for sticking with me. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back again as per regular on Tuesday. Okay, have a good one.